Hagan has changed roles somewhat this year, played slightly deeper than perhaps we've seen previously. Amy Hallaby in there, Brooke Hernick at the back, Emily Hernick. The Hernick sisters are a real staple of this side, having a couple of handy years there. Holly Saville started off the season in fantastic form, and again was one of those players who was missing, and having those big names back in the starting lineup today probably gives you cause to think that it's going to be a really tough game for Ulverstone, probably the toughest one they've had in a while, and there is the danger when you become such a dominant team that a few results do become a bit easy, and maybe when the big tough games come, you're not quite as prepared. So we'll have to wait and see how that has impacted on Ulverstone, who've just been absolutely flying. The rest of the City lineup, Lillian Sheegog, another youngster in there, Selena Stevenson, a steal in defensive midfield or centre-back, Kiara Walsh, fantastic player when she's in full flight, and Lauren Zazazny, just the two players on the bench in Georgia Legg and Annika Retsima.
Yeah, it's Launceston City have been most likely to challenge Ulverstone this year, as mentioned, and last year's defeated, stopping Hobart Zebras in their tracks for the undefeated season there last time. So a good solid lineup here. Good to have Beth Bygrave back, as you mentioned. Missed the middle part of the season, which did coincide with a little bit of their form slump in that particular part of the year. And then the Hernick sisters, especially at centre back, really solid defenders there, and they'll have to be on their best today to stop Jasmine Gorry, the leading scorer in the Women's Super League that Ulverstone will have up front. An interesting, despite being a home game, just the two on the bench, which surprised me a little.
Probably not that surprising when you've got to maintain a second team below, and most clubs don't have the numbers, Paul. It's what tends to happen, but they've got enough for a team. That's why we've got two on the bench today. Ulverstone, I'm not sure how many they'll have on the bench. We might move along to the visitors as they look to make it 20 from 20, and they have managed to get together a decent bench. I think a few making the dash across from the NTCA ground where their Northern Championship team was playing. In net is Georgia Anderson, a wonderful young keeper having a good year, a real prospect for the future. I think at the moment has the most clean sheets by quite the distance. So will be the Golden Glove winner in the Super League this year. Susanna Blackwood-Beattie has been a reliable defender. Christy Cox-Haynes brings some good experience there, and there's the core of the team there in the middle that have all come into this team. None of them were there last year. That's why Ulverstone were down the bottom end of the table last year. But Lucy Foote, Georgia Foote, Jasmine Gorry, Emily Nellis, what a wonderful group of additions they have been. Nellis has been an absolute rocket to back. The Foots and Gorry have just been providing the goals, and that's the real strength of this side. But there are some very handy players supporting them. Lucy Reimer's had a great year, and Melanie Smith is another one who has impressed me whenever I've seen her. Elizabeth Wells rounding out the lineup there. I think she might poll quite well in the best and fairest as well. She's had a very tidy season on the bench. Shelby Aiken, Samantha Hardy, Lily James and Ebony Sims. So there is the Ulverstone side. As we mentioned, very much chasing history here. They've got 19 from 19. The streak has gone longer than the Hobart Zebras did last year. But can they continue in their quest for perfection? We'll find out shortly, not too far away from kickoff here.
As we have a dog on the field just before the match gets started, let's hope we can get that one off. As just running off the field now is a very cute doggo. It still won't go through the fence though, so that could be an interesting plot at that end of the ground, at the clubhouse end of the ground here at Launceston City. But Ulverstone in very good form.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the ball gets out there, we might have a second viral sensation in as many weeks coming out of Launceston City. Already the darling of the internet, Nico Giansopoulos, this week has gone viral, and I know from our rival code, a dog on the field is absolute gold. So there is the lad. I'm not sure if that's been updated after the midweek matches, and just to run us through that one there for a second, Paul.
Yeah, Ulverstone clearly on top by a considerable margin. It's Launceston City in second place. Zebras and Taruna. Zebras and Taruna, if they win out and Launceston City slip up, they could nearly just about get into second place. University already resigned to the playoff here for the promotion relegation. As we have a look at the updated lineup, it is Taruna that are on 32 points, and Hobart Zebras on 27 after 18 games. So Taruna still with a game in hand on Launceston City.
Questioning this, hang on.
You're still questioning it?
Yes, I know there was some, Let me get to the bottom there. Anyway, it's essentially City are looking to hold on to second, need a win to do. And
Taruna are chasing them hard. Let's go with that.
Very much closing in on them. the couple of catch-up games midweek that probably haven't been added to just as of yet. So there's been a lot of games washed out this year, and a couple of teams, Taroona and South Otago in particular, are playing about 3 times a week at the moment, trying to catch them all up in time for the end of season. But
to be fair, Taroona are used to that, both in men's and women's competition. Kelvedon Park down there at Taroona, it's quite the home advantage when they can play down there, but when it turns into a bog, as I know, having played a few Div 1 games down there in my time in the depths of June and July, it gets a bit boggy down there and not the best for football. So I'll have a few goes at doing those catch-up games this week and really putting pressure on Launceston City, the girls down at Taroona. So Lonnie City with plenty to play for, as well as just wanting to break Ulverstone's streak, as we have a look out on the field and the teams exchanging pre-match pleasantries before we get underway here at Buckby Land Rover Park. And the wind just picking up a tad as well. Seems to be running from sort of behind us here as you look at it on the screen and sort of running across the ground. It's a bit of a side wind at the moment.
Well, normally you judge the wind direction off flags, but the birds currently situated at midfield are giving a very good indicator that the wind will be at City's back in this first half, because they are just being blown straight towards that end.
There is a distinct lack of flags here at Buckby Land Rover Park. I think there's something for the off-season. Let's put a big flag on that light tower straight across. It'd be great work.
So, yeah, should be an advantage for City in the first half, and it might be slightly tough sledding for the Ulverstone team, kicking into a win that, as you mentioned, is picking up just in time for kickoff here. So that may well be a factor, and City could have the advantage in this first half. Because last time they met at this venue, it was Jasmine Gorry absolutely torching them. I think it was, not sure if it was 4-0 come the end of the game, but I think she scored 3 or 4, and just they couldn't handle her at the back. Her pace was too much, and that'll be the key weapon again today if she can make those incisive runs in behind the defence. We'll have to wait and see. Round 20 of the Super League here at Buckby Land Rover Park between Launceston City and Ulverstone. At Keelan Fagan is going to kick us off here. City looking to stop this historic Ulverstone season in its tracks. They want to stop their old rivals. These two have been the two powers in the game down the years. And really, I don't think they'll want such a record going to a team that they share such a rivalry with, Paul.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the pre, the two real powerhouses of women's football up north as the game kicks off. And yeah, Ulverstone, the power in the northwest, and Launceston, the main women's side here in Tasmania's second city. So yeah, bit to play for in this game.
So Smith works it forward, and it's Weeder now sliding it through. Gorry making a run, trying to get in behind Steventon. She's got her covered for pace, don't you worry about that. Steventon does well to recover. And Gorry had a chance to get a cross in, but only picks out Dewsbury. But we're 20 seconds into the game, and the pace of Jasmine Gorry has already reared its head as the big threat. Fagan unable to track that one down. Georgia Foot is, looks like she's going to continue her midfield role today. Slides to try and block that one, couldn't do so. Beth Bygrave gets on the end of it, chips into the path of Fagan. Suspicions of handball there. Probably close to the body, but just got to be careful.
Yeah, luckily kept the hand tucked in. The Ulverstone defender there, just keeping the elbow as close to the hip as possible. It'd be pretty stiff to give that, although there was a little movement towards the ball in the end, but it was on the blind side of the referee. It was coming diagonally across, so very hard for the referee to call that one, as we have the first corner of the game. Swung in towards the middle, good defensive header away. Recollecting for Launceston City, they'll look to regroup. It's Steventon on the ball, through ball, but the keeper should be able to claim that one, Georgia Anderson. Rocking the tracksuit look, which I'm a big fan of for goalkeepers.
We've discussed it before, Paul. I mean, perhaps not the day for it today, but certainly with some of the cold conditions we get, why not take advantage? Jasmine Gorry's searing in behind again, slides this one through. A chance for Dewsbury to come out, makes a clutch save. Great keeping there. Lucia Dewsbury denies Christy Cox-Haynes the game's opening goal, but Jasmine Gorry, twice she's got him behind, almost scored one earlier, and this one, great piece of keeping there from Dewsbury.
And the deflection off Kiara Walsh, it was very nearly going into the own goal there. If it just comes off the knee, it can go anywhere. And luckily for Launceston City, it probably would be very harsh. It was a very good save from the keeper in the end as Ulverstone now get back on the ball. It's Lucy Foote in the middle of the park, placing it out wide. Should be Cox Haynes on the far side. Going inside towards Gorry, but we'll cut out in the end from Hernick of the Brook variety, and it's surely a foul on the captain, Georgia Foote there.
Yeah, Georgia Foote just being brought down, and good spot to take this one for and just chip something into the box. Very good over the dead ball is the Ulverstone captain, having a fantastic season. Would certainly be in the running for the best and fairest medal, which I can reveal will be the Optus medal this year. And you'd have to thought that Georgia Foote's going to be right in the running for that one as she swings this one in to the back post. I mean, there'll be plenty of competition for votes amongst her own team. And when you win 21 games, there's going to be a lot of votes headed Ulverstone's way. It's on the byline. This one's worked out towards Bygrave. And the pressure from Smith, who closes that down. And will go out for a goal kick. So it's Ulverstone on the front foot in the opening exchanges here.
Good to see the Usain Bolt influence now trickling down to the WSL with the Optus medal.
Just for a minute thought old mate the dog was about to have a run on the pitch there. So it could be a factor of play, and this one's going to fall the way of Gorry, who's going to pounce in the box. It's Jasmine Gorry. She turns and back post, big chance, and need home in the end from close range. It's Lucy Reimer who bundles it home, and Ulverstone have converted their early dominance and take a 1-0 lead. Jasmine Gorry setting up a chance there for Lucy Reimer.
Great finish from Lucy Reimer. That took a wicked bounce off the middle of the 6-yard box. Gorry getting in behind into that right-hand side channel. And it just fell in front. It's taken a wicked bounce and just managed to get the knee on it. It's a very good play from Lucy Reimer. I've certainly seen plenty in the NPL Taz of misses from that sort of position in the last few weeks. So to get that one, just keep it down and not balloon it over the bar. Good quality finish from Lucy Reimer.
Yeah, really arose on her as another Lucy. That of Lucy Foote works it into the middle there for Tielo Weeder. Tidy player, but she's coughed it up there, and a chance perhaps for Launceston City. Keelan Fagan trying to get in, but sweeping across was Georgia Foote. Beth Bygrave, the two generals of their respective sides. It's a wonderful ball for Hernick, and Hernick's inches away with the instant response. Lashes the volley just wide of the post, and almost pulling them back on terms immediately.
Cracking finish from Emily Hernick. Just did everything right except for hit the back of the net. Waited for it to sit right as Anderson was a little bit slow to get off the line, and it hasn't missed by a whole lot there, Emily Hernick.
I reckon the wind's just pushed that past the post too. Just floated a little. It seemed to be on target there, but narrowly wide, and a good response to that from City. Perfect way to falling behind. Beth Bygrave just chips one in there, and that's what Emily Hernick's been doing for the past couple of years, really, just coming in off that left wing with that lovely technique and plundering goals. Here's Weeder. Works it out wide. Back for Gorry. Under some immediate pressure here. Well won back by Hernick. Emily Hernick to assist her. Chips it over the top, looking for a run there, but controlled by Foote. Back to Anderson. Anderson into the middle, straight to Beth Bygrave though. Now Bygrave, a heavy touch. Fortunately, kills that attack, but quickly won back by Launceston City. Emily Nellis is forced to intervene, and a decisive clearance from her. Up top, and under pressure here's Kiara Walsh, but that's pretty well, and the pass will eventually work its way out to Lillian Shegog. A little bit scrappy, just this particular passage of play. Neither team keeping a hold of it, and that's surely offside against Beth Bygrave. Don't need a replay for that one.
I really don't need a replay for that one. What I noticed before, though, was Brooke Hernick just still dropping 5 yards off Jasmine Gorry, just giving her that head start. You can tell they're really trying to limit the head start they're giving Jasmine Gorry in that ball behind, as we have Foote directing traffic. Launched down the middle in the Gorry direction, gets ahead to it, but just too much pepper on that one, and falls into the grateful arms of Dewsbury, who launches it long. Bygrave gets that one out of the air, but only manages to find Foote, and then gives it away. Gorry's offside if she interferes with play here, and probably should have been the other way around between the two Ulverstone players there. Lucy Reimer, the goal scorer, was clearly onside, and Gorry, just a little bit of lack of communication between the two there.
Just a bit too eager there on that occasion, Gorry. It's probably one area of a game that times has been a problem, staying on side, but she does her best work just hanging off the last defender, just waiting on their shoulder, and then she's going to back herself in a foot race off a scratch. She's not going to be caught, so that's why she does it, but when you are playing with such fine margins, you are liable to be offside a little bit. But given the amount of goals she scored from just hanging off them, clearly doing it pretty well for the most part. Georgia Foot gets in a bit of trouble here, but is able to steer it away only as far as Hernick tries to catch Anderson out from range. Not going to do so. Georgia Anderson picks it up and launches into the middle for Lucy Foot. Lovely control there from Lucy Foot. Lies back there to Nellis. Looks to skip around one, then send it forward in the Reimer direction. That was broken up. Beth Bygrave demanding a run from her teammates, and in the end just out of frustration chips it over the top, and she'd just like to see a few more runs off the ball, Beth Bygrave.
I think she was looking for Hernick to really make another run similar to how she had that good shot on goal earlier. It just wasn't forthcoming, as we see Foot on the ball, lays it short on the side of the field, switched to Cox-Haynes, who's surely fouled in the back there. Christy Cox-Haynes, pretty clear push in the back there from the Launceston defender. It's Kiara Walsh coming across from left back, and again a similar position to the last free kick they had, Ulverstone. And just while we wait for this free kick, kudos on Ulverstone's new logo they've released during the week. It's a very sleek looking new logo. Yeah,
big fan of it. I think they've done well with that one, as Georgia Foot sends this one along. Should be easy pickings for Lucienne Dewsbury, and indeed it is. No danger there for the city keeper. I think Foot expecting the wind to hold the ball up a little more than it ended up doing so. Holly Saville now combining with Emily Hernick. Fagan making a run, goes back in the Saville direction, but it's picked off by Emily Nellis, who storms through the middle and sends it over the top for Jasmine Gorry. Dewsbury's off a line here. She comes back on though, and well defended. They just box out Gorry. I think got caught in two minds, sensing the keeper off her line, decided to head backwards and maybe chip, when maybe just charging forwards was the play.
Yeah, Steventon coming back just to provide some cover from midfield, and as Jasmine Gorry was just at that moment of indecision and just waiting on a little bit, and it gave Launceston City time, but she was in a great pocket of space, was Gorry. Launceston City now stuck in their own pocket of space, as Walsh just has to knock it out for a throw-in. There's good hassle on that side from Christy Cox-Haynes. Throw-in on the very far side of the ground here, Buckby Land Rover Park. Moving towards the centre of the park, and just hoiked clear in the end from Bygrave. Just didn't really have too many intention on finding a teammate with that one. Just hoofed it as far as she can, as the wind, again, it's picking up even more here at the ground. It's really running from left to right as you look at it on your screen, so it's very much behind the backs of the Launceston City players, as charging in. Blocked, now falls to Gorry in the 18-yard box, tries to find Reimer again with the cutback, but concedes. Wins a corner for her side.
Yeah, well done, Selena Stevenson. Crucial block there, as Lucy Reimer eyeing off a second goal. Jasmine Gorry ever present in this one. She must like this ground, of course. In the pilot edition of the Super League, played for Launceston City. Her club at that time was still Devonport, and really first came on the radar there as she swings in the corner, tries to find Lucy Foot to the top of the box. Away by Lillian Shegog. Georgia Foot thinks about the blast from range. It's just over, but not by much. Pretty impressive contact made by Georgia Foot, but just got a bit too much of it in the end.
Almost slipping as she's definitely slipping as she went to hit that, and that's not missed by much. Real pillars to the side are the Foot sisters here at Ulverstone. And there is the flick on header. In the end, finds Smith. Ely falls to Reimer, but well intercepted. Foul given against Wells. The Ulverstone left back. I think it was for a push in the back.
It's interesting the way Smith kind of drops into coverage. Foot at times is playing as a sweeper and other times as a 10. I mean, she just covers the turf, and has coverage from Smith when she does decide to venture forwards, and we saw with that shot, when she goes off marauning, it often leads to good things for Ulverstone, but it's City on the attack here. Keelan Fagan Works it to Holly Saville. Saville tried to slide it through, but Emily Nellis blocked that off. Having a sterling season is the former Zebra. I don't know when the last time she lost a game was, if she ever has. Lillian Shegog can't quite track this one down in the far corner, but look, it was an important part of that Zebra's defence last year. It's come to Ulverstone, and I think she even knows what a league defeat is.
No, I'm trying to help you out there and think when the last time
Presumably
Nellis suffered a defeat. I'm assuming it'd be 2 years ago.
Yeah, mid-2016 at some point, I suppose. I'm not even sure if she was part of the team that lost to Kingma in the semi-final, so a defeat of any kind I don't think has been on the radar. And Zebras, of course, won the treble last year, so get Emily Nellis in your defence is basically what we're saying, is this one's worked to the back post. Hernick won't be able to track that one down. Turning away with it is Cox Haynes. And we'll look up. It's just the options. The wind picks up and Hernick gets a foot in. It'll spill the way of Anderson.
Anderson comfortably collecting, and they've not looked to play it short at any occasion here. Ulverstone always looking to go direct, and Beth Bygrave now plays in. Hernick calls for offside, and that is given from the assistant referee on the near side.
Good call, I think. She did appear to be just straying a yard there. So Ulverstone defence stepped up. And speaking of stepping up, that wind is really starting to become a factor, so perhaps a good chance for City, whilst it's at their backs, to try and force the issue a little bit. Let's look at this one just sit up in the wind. There's the prime example of it, just beyond halfway. Fagan turning, sliding in was Nellis. Decisively won. Cox Haynes can't get past Kiara Walsh. There's the last touch off of Ulverstone for a City throw.
Yeah, last touch there off Blackwood Beatty at right back. That's a crunching challenge in the centre of the park. Real no-nonsense defending there from Ulverstone, and now they've won the throw-in. Taking it halfway. It'll be Blackwood Beatty to take this one, only as far as Walsh for Launceston. Tried to find Hernick, but Ford will let that one roll out of play. One thing I hadn't noticed, as it's obviously the first time I've been up here in a long time, is a fair bit of slope on this pitch, going from the middle down.
Yeah, real Lords type type operation if you run the cricket pitch down the middle. There's a fair number of our grounds with a bit of a slope. You got the Darcy Street slope, the Wentworth Park slope.
And the Kingborough one down in the far corner as well.
Yeah, but no, you do notice, especially from our position on halfway, a little bit of elevation there. Doesn't seem to go up to the middle. There's Jasmine Gorry. Can't get past Walsh. Foot steers it forward. Non-threatening area at the moment, though. Throw in for Walsh.
Walsh hasn't got a lot of options, although it does have the wind at her back, which really nearly sails that one over the head of her teammate, intercepted by Foot. Now out through Weeder, but given away. Intercepted, but falls to the striker in Fagan. Tries to find a teammate, but covering in defence is Smith. It's Emily Nellis striding forward from centre-back, actually. Throw in from Launceston to no avail, and trying to find Gorry, but the wind just holding it up, not clearing the head of a Launceston City player. And Gorry wins a free kick there. I'm not entirely sure what that one was for. I thought the defender for Launceston had that one perfectly covered. It seemed like Gorry would just kind of lost momentum and got a bit overbalanced. So we have a look at that again on the replay. Controlled in the end, and maybe Gorry just got a toe in. As the free kick comes in from Foot. Holds up in the wind. Cleared, well controlled by Wells. Out to Lucy Romer, who finally manages to turn the defender and launches a shot that was curling, but not curling enough.
Yeah, Lucy Romer did some damage against City last time at Buckby Park and has started this one well, as around the grounds, 0-0 at Linda Grove between University And Kingborough, Wentworth Park. Jeez, it's all happening there. Clarence leading Hobart Zebras 3-2 in the NPL as Gorry chips this one over the top for Lucy Foot, away by Hernick. Of course, plenty of action going on around the state to reach the pointy end of the season. But Clarence clearly entertaining first 45 that one. 3-2, not yet half time.
They were 2-0 up to start with as well. Clarence, Zebras with a couple of outs, but not as many outs as we were predicting.
Not as many as was advertised, don't think that much. A few mind games there. Not quite as good a mind game as Giansopoulos last week, but
no,
some mind games being played. Certainly in team announcements anyway.
Not as good as the statewide cup final in the women, with slipping Ayton onto the bench and coming on for the winner.
Yeah, giving the commentators the incomplete team sheets and just shocking everyone with Ayton.
Some real great mind game action there.
Boy, was that a handy sub.
Wasn't that a handy finish?
Yeah, not bad from Addie Ayton on that day, of course. Despite Ulverstone's complete dominance of all things this season, they fell to Kingborough in the semi-final. And
just about the upset of the season in Tasmanian football, that one.
Yeah.
Consider the records.
Yeah, I've not been more surprised by a result, given the way Ulverstone have dominated the Super League this year. And indeed their games against Kingborough in the Super League this year. But every team has an off day in front of goal occasionally, and unfortunately they used up all that on one day really, as Holly Saville turns. But that's why they, I think, want this perfect season so much. That's a great ball from Bygrave for Fagan, couldn't quite control it. And just a couple of times Beth Bygrave's received the ball in that position about 25 yards out and just played lovely little chip balls into the box. Just weighted perfectly.
We were talking before about Foot's likelihood of being sweeper and then turning into number 10. And while Smith is dropping back, it's certainly creating a gap in between the centre backs, and either Hernick or Fagan are really looking to exploit that. And when you've got someone like Beth Bygrave who can play a nice chip through ball to feet or to run onto, especially with this wind, it's going to be dangerous for the rest of this half, as a free kick goes the way of Launceston City. That one's left for Walsh to take. And with the wind at their back, you'd want to try and put this one somewhere close to the D at the 18-yard box and cause the Ulverstone defence some issues.
Yeah, I'd almost be swinging up there near the keeper, see how she goes in these swirling conditions. Tough day to be donning the gloves, and this one might fall for Lillian Shegog, who turns. That one was shut down though. Top of the box, fell to Saville. City on the attack here, offside was Hernick, so she couldn't play on that ball. And now Cox Haynes leads Kiara Walsh the ball and got a little push in the back for her troubles, and that will relieve the pressure.
Yeah, good use of the body there against Walsh, who's having to sprint back to chase Cox Haynes, who'd made a good run and now receiving the ball. Walsh tracking back, thumping that one clear. Good idea for the through ball, but a bit too much sauce on that one. Roll out for a goal kick. Anderson showing some good eagerness in wanting to get the goal kick taken quickly. There's looking to now play it short here, Ulverstone, doing away with these longer goal kicks that they prefer, but no one really calling for it. Nellis is a likely target, but taken by Anderson. Got good distance on it, finds Foot. Peeling out wide is Gorry. Goes all the way back to a defender and knocks it clear, and then thumped away from Hernick. Just the wind starting to play a little bit of havoc.
Look how high a line both teams have got at the moment. You've got every single player in the space of about 10 yards at the moment.
It's great for us because it's pretty much the 10 yards where we are. So I'm not having to do much head turning here this afternoon.
Yeah, both defences taking up an extraordinarily high line. Confirmation now it is half-time at Wentworth Park with Clarence leading 3-2. Also half-time at Linda Grove in the Super League. University having to win that one if they want to avoid the relegation playoff. If they were to be held by the Lions, then that would confirm they will indeed face Olympia. As Emily Nellis picks this one up. He's got a little bit of room to operate in here. Wells under a bit of pressure there, and Bygrave wins it back to Fagan, who slides it through for an offside. Hernick, who just needs to have a look across the line there. There was no need for that. She was in acres of space, but just didn't hold a run.
And you could see it happening. put my hand up here in the commentary box, and as the defender came across, it's Foot who both stepping up and causing Fagan to make that run. And you pretty much just have to stand completely still and then go from a standing start again, but at least you're in on goal, as that one's launched long down the wing. Coxane's trying to jink inside, has a shot on goal, nearly loops the keeper, nearly saved. Oh no, it's in. Not quite
Lucy
getting enough. Rimo switched sides on me there. Dewsbury just got two hands to it, but just looped back over into the net. It's 2-0 Ulverstone.
And 2 for Lucy Reimer, who's once again having herself a day. She likes playing at this ground. Lucy Reimer did the damage and was at this exact same end too, if I recall. So there's something about the clubhouse end at Buckby Park that Lucy Reimer enjoys, and shoots high. Keeper needs to be punching that one over the top. Doesn't get enough of it and sneaks in at the back post. Ulverstone, Jasmine Gorry was ready to pounce, I think, if it didn't, as that one flies over the head of Anderson. Great
tactical manoeuvre, pretty much the first touch she's had on that side of the ground since switching sides with Cox Haynes. Jinking inside onto the left peg and just launching that one into the top corner. You'd think that's more likely to happen at the other end of the ground given the wind direction, but Lucy Reimer, as you mentioned, must just love playing at Buckby Land Rover Park.
So Ulverstone are well on their way. It's taken them just 23 minutes to take a 2-goal lead. And after just over 20 minutes, it's looking like it could be 20 from 20 for this remarkable Ulverstone team. Down the line the ball goes, but Steventon will be able to cut that one out. Georgia Foot takes over, sends it down the line. Here's Lucy Reimer on a hat-trick, works it inside for Tiella Weeder. They're lining up here, Tiella Weeder. They sit off her, she works it in. Cox Haynes in some space, volleys it up in the air, might get a second chance. Steventon doing just enough in defence, and then a soft foul, that one on Wells, who is going to get a talking to as well. Must have done something, the referee not happy with something she spotted. But we have a look at that opportunity in the box. It wasn't too far away from 3-0 there.
Didn't see a lot in that as Cox Haynes not able to keep the ball under a spell. Free kick sent down the line, but not quite being kept in on the near side by Shigog, who's pushed on a bit further, played a bit more of a holding role the first 20 minutes. Was Shigog. Foot striding forward from centre back, looking for options. Everyone making forward runs, wanting it forward. Finds Cox Haynes, covering across, has a shot, but fresh airs it in the end, falls again to Jasmine Gorry, but a toe in the end does just enough to take it away from the leading scorer in the competition. Walsh goes down the line, still in play on the far side. Eventually a throwing conceded by Walsh. Heaved down the line. Gorry coming across, willing to chase everything and gets there in front of Hernick. Got two in the box. Jasmine Gorry, well intercepted in the air from Steventon. She really had to make a few crucial interceptions in this match so far. And now Launceston City on the break. Georgia Foot goes for the outside of the left foot there. Falls right to Shigog and eventually makes up for it.
Yeah, the first time just tried to get a little bit cute with it, and then the second time said, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Was far more authoritative in the challenge. As Ulverstone, again, Jasmine Gorry causing troubles up the other end, 2-0, and looking a real threat. City need a goal to get themselves back into it. Can they find something here? It's Keelan Fagan nods it back to the top of the box. Falls to Wells, who volleys it out of there. Brooke Hernick stepping up and volleyed it straight into what I thought was the arm of Holly Saville. The play allowed to continue. Hernick now one-on-one with Georgia Foot. Puts a cross in, but it's behind for a goal kick. And nothing doing for City in attack at the moment. This Ulverstone defence are boxing them out pretty well for the time being.
Yeah, been exposed a couple of times, the Ulverstone defence, but it's mainly been due to their willingness to push forward rather than consistent build-up play. As Anderson launches that one only as far as Bygrave. Now out to Blackwood Beattie. Good thing they've swapped sides, Ulverstone. Be going for two of the longest last names in the competition. They're having Blackwood Beattie and Cox Haynes on the same wing.
The hyphen wing.
The hyphen wing.
Goal from each side, really, for Lucy Rama. Scored 2 in a 4-0 win last time around and has 2 here already today. Ulverstone flying, of course. They play Kingborough next week. And that's all that stands between them and a perfect season. This one misjudged by Nellis. It might let Fagan in, but Georgia Foot again is expert in coverage and just shields it there. And a little bit of whack there for Fagan too. Following through there, chasing after the ball. That's a lovely ball up there to Wells, who is rather cynically brought down by Beth Bygrove. And that'll be a free kick.
Yeah, if Wells' foul about 3 minutes ago is a foul, then surely Georgia Foot's, or at least Fagan's in need of a talking to after that challenge. Bygrove terribly happy with that decision.
And Georgia Foot not overly happy herself at the moment. They're discontent just for the time being. I think Elizabeth Wells, it might be really a bit of a sore point, given last time she was here, she nearly got a leg broken and there wasn't so much as a slice of cheese issued for the challenge. So
I forgot that was on Wells, that challenge.
Here's Georgia Foot chipping it over the top for Jasmine Gorry. Kiara Walsh is there and will steer that one away. So I think, yeah, she'd probably be a little bit salty on that one. Yeah. Thankfully, it wasn't nothing serious injury-wise.
Somehow, by some miracle.
Yeah, she had an excellent game that day too. That's a dangerous-looking cross, and it falls for Tiela Weeder, and that's blocked off. I think it was Zadzny who steps in and blocks the shot and saves what looked like a certain third goal there for Ulverstone. Knocking on the door, and every time they attack, they're looking good value right now.
Yeah, limping after that challenge is Zadzny, but exceptionally well to step in as Smith finds Wells. Cox Haynes looks for Gorry. Probably wanted to run onto the ball there, but eventually plays it back to Georgia Foot, who plays it to Lucy Foot. Gorry's in the box, winding up for the shot there was Foot, but a good challenge in the centre of the park. It was Emily Hernick tracking back from a left wing position. Nearly half hour gone here at Buckby Land Rover Park. Ulverstone have looked fairly comfortable for the majority of this match. There's a very nice view of that plane taking off here from Launceston Airport as well at Buckby Land Rover Park. That one down the line, Hernick whacks it into her own teammate who managed to control it well, did Walsh.
You'd have enjoyed Avondale's ground the other night.
Oh, you could hear it through the TV.
Flying bang over the pitch.
Came through TV as loud as the Devonport fans did.
Yes.
With the planes from Tullamarine.
Yeah, they were a very good voice. Strikers faithful, having made the trip over there for the FFA Cup. But yeah, very close to the airport, the ground. It's flight path directly over the stadium.
Don't think we'll be having Evandale FC joining the competition here anytime soon if it makes that much noise.
As we've got a free kick on halfway for Ulverstone, and it'll be dropped off short for Lucy Foot. It's been reasonably quiet so far in this one. Lucy Foot is being very carefully watched and has just allowed others to do the damage. It's sitting back a little bit deeper than perhaps we've seen at times. As her sister Georgia Foot, who's been absolutely everywhere, slides in, and I reckon that was the last touch off a City player, but it looks like the throw's going the other way. Georgia Foot can't believe it. I thought it deflected straight off the City player.
Frozen in time there was Georgia Foot. Just didn't quite believe that decision.
Oh, she's given a free kick, actually.
Yeah, free kick it is.
Okay. I still can't believe that decision, but
and a slice of cheddar as well for Georgia Foot, probably for the reaction to the decision more than the challenge itself.
Yeah, well, she clearly got a little bit of the man, but a fair bit of the ball, and seemed a decent challenge to me. Anyway, a chance perhaps here for Kiara Walsh to get City back into it, and the game needs it, to be honest, because Ulverstone are in control at the moment. Here's Walsh, swings it to the back post. That's a dangerous looking ball. Lillian Shegog's there. It's gone out of play, I think. Yes, the flag was raised. It will be a goal kick. It's confirmation of that slice of cheddar for the Ulverstone captain.
So we thought we were going to look at the foul again, but it's the Shegog not quite managing to keep that one in, as Anderson now can revert back to the goal kicks she prefers to take, as That one's now forward to Fagan. Foot steps in and does well. Striding forward from centre back. Gorry peels off the defender. That's too much down the middle. Gorry was peeling wide off Hernick and then wanted to cut back inside, but just too far inside was the through ball. Nellis controls and clears. Wells goes forward, and now Christy Cox-Haynes just can't quite keep the control of that one.
That's outstanding. She's given herself the sarcastic applause.
Yeah.
Has a good sense of humour about it. That's great.
Usually you'd expect that someone in the front row of the fan, in the ground, to just give that to you, but doing it to yourself is a great addition.
She realised probably should have gone with the left foot on that particular occasion, as Lucy Foot combining there, and she'll get on the end of this and wants a run from Gorry, who just peeled back for the time being, so the ball unable to pick out Cox-Haynes. Away by Steventon to Kiara Walsh. Walsh wraps her foot around it, gets it down the line to Emily Hernick. Keelan Fagan a likely target here, but Ulverstone's back four is back. And they've blocked off the cross there. Back to Kiara Walsh. Walsh shadowed there by Smith. And calls from the City coach just for a little bit of support. Give her a passing option, and not a bad shout.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking there. You've got time to control turn. You've shielded your defender, and you look up and you've really got too much of an option, and that's usually a little bit annoying, as Hernick can't quite get the ball in. Fagan falls to Bygrave, who comes off the instep and rolls meekly out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I've seen her score those ones before, but not the contact she was after on that occasion, Beth Bygrave. I think really City, they might be looking at that FFA Cup game from Devonport the other day as an example. If they can pull one back before half-time, you give yourselves a chance. So first half hour of that one, it was 2-0 and looking like one side was clearly the dominant team. But things changed off the back of a goal, really from out of nowhere, that penalty. And if City can conjure something, they'll be back in it. But for now, they're going to have to do some defending. As on a hat-trick is Lucy Reimer, and she was lurking about there. Hernick opts for safety first. 35 minutes tick by in the first half here. Ulverstone in command and en route to win number 20. This one will spill for Lucy Foot. Lucy Foot puts the cross in, away by Holly Saville, working back in defence. Walsh only as far as Reimer. Hernick, when in doubt.
Yeah.
Although she doesn't like the owner of that grey car.
I just wanted to give the gentleman on ball duty a touch.
Oh, he's failed horribly.
Yeah,
there.
it was right at his feet.
Back down the hill.
Yeah, you gotta do better than that. Played right to feet and you miscontrol it. Blackwood Beattie takes the throw in. Finds Lucy Foot. Thought about playing it to Georgia Foot, but elects to go back to Blackwood Beattie. Down the line, but only as far as Steventon, who's dispossessed. Eventually safety first again from Hernick, kept in by Walsh. Dispossessed by Reimer. Lovely bit of skill there from Lucy Reimer, and has pushed off the ball unceremoniously from Kiara Walsh.
It's the only way to stop her at the moment.
That one is a definite foul.
Yes. It's a foul in many different sports. Or a tackle. Just have a look, just pushes her off.
Nice, almost side stiff arm there, trying to push away the defender.
Seems to be the only way to stop Lucy Reimer at the moment. She's absolutely bossing this contest. As Georgia Foot will swing in the free kick here. Gorry takes up the position at the near post. This one's swung towards Lucy Foot, who loses her footing, gets up, wins the ball, then works it back. That won't have the power to worry anyone, and doesn't have the direction either.
No, it'd certainly go down as a shot off target, that one there. Dewsbury's ready for the goal kick. Finds a teammate expertly from that position. Is well cleared in the end from Hernick. Again going the safety first often. Shigog battles with Wells. Well kept in from Lillian Shigog. Again, not having a lot of options. Nellis striding forward. Cox-Haynes Eventually whacked clear in the end from Brooke Hernick.
So we've got very different circumstances here. The ref telling the player to steal some more yards and go further forward for the throw-in. It's a real role reversal there as the impressive Wells works this one back into the middle and steered away by Holly Saville, who's really having to drop back in defence a lot more than she'd like to in this half. It's the best work in the final third. Normally that's a lovely ball from Wells onto the head of Gorry. Gorry was offside though.
Good play all round there from Foot to find Wells, and then the control and first time pass right to the head of Gorry. She did manage to control it well, but unfortunately it strayed offside. Really does like to play on the last defender. Does Gorry. They've, for the most part, nullified her well in this first half, Launceston City. It'll be in the second half when they can really just whack those through balls as Fagan looks for Bygrave. She'll get there ahead of Smith and manages to unfortunately deflect off Smith, and Nellis steps in and concedes a throw-in. Nearly fell unfortunately there for Smith, just managed to roll off her head. The throw-in taken short by Bygrave, which had fallen offside. Bygrave terribly happy with the decision. They can get it to her feet. Cox Haynes has got a little bit of space here, but taken short just to get the ball moving, and Nellis finds Smith, and they work it out the other side. It's Blackwood Beattie. Reimer and Gorry in front, and splits the middle straight to Kiara Walsh. And Walsh turns it down the line. Hernick looks towards the back post, running in is Lillian Shigog, puts a foot through it, and it's a goal for Launceston City. Lillian Shigog lurking at the back post.
A very composed finish and very matter of fact about the celebration. I know they're trailing very much. Yep, cool. There we go, I got to go. On with it now, but tidy finished that one because it was the defender to navigate on the line here. It took a bit of a bobble. Anderson just misjudging that one, and once she's out of the picture, and it was, I think, Nellis on the line who got back perfect position and just had enough elevation to get it over the top. So a lovely finish that from Lillian Shigog, and back to 2-1.
Emily Nellis doing her best Luis Suarez impersonation there, nearly just sticking the hand up at the last moment, but I think thought better of it.
Yeah, a bit early to be pulling that one. I know, obviously, precedent's been set this week for doing extraordinary things late in the first half of games rather than later in the match. But I don't know if the Luis Suarez moment's quite called upon at this moment in the game.
Yeah, that one would be a definite red card situation rather than that kind of borderline yellow decision of Nikki G.
And with a good 50 minutes left to play, down to 10, probably not worth giving away a penalty. But Suarez play, still absolute genius as far as I'm concerned. Oh. Most endearing moment he's had in his career.
And mind you, that is a very small list.
Yeah, it's a very, very small list, to be fair, as Beth Bygrave heads away, and then taking a tumble there was Cox Haynes, and I think Cox Haynes is going to be penalised for a bit of a push-off there. Kiara Walsh will take the free kick as the wind starts to howl once again here.
Got distracted daydreaming about Patrice Evra's celebrations in front of Suarez then. I must concentrate on the game at hand. It looks like Walsh is the designated kick taker in the defensive half. Launches that one long over the head of Foot, who was pretty confident in the wind, and her keeper there. And did just enough. Anderson coming off her line. It's Blackwood Beattie to Lucy Foot. Georgia storming through the middle and eventually ends up with the centre back. 4 options in front. Nearly picks out Leader, who tried to get it out to Reimer, who's on the hat-trick. And on the left peg is Lucy Reimer. Good defence in the end from Zadzney.
Been impressed with Zadzney. A few times now she saved a team in the vital moments. And that was building very nicely. A lovely flowing move end-to-end stuff. And now one pass away from being unlocked. So Zadzney gambled, left her winger to make the challenge, and in the end, probably saves what would have been a very good goal-scoring chance. Lucy Reimer, Lucy Foot on the corner duty here. Ulverstone looking to get back on top, and she swings it low to the near post. Repelled away as Zasadzny in foot, as Zasadzny gets there first and puts it into touch. Defending her flank well. Wells. Pocket of space as Gorry couldn't quite control it on the turn though. It was a tough one in her defence. Behind for a Dewsbury goal kick.
Yeah, outside of the first Ulverstone goal scored by Lucy Rome, Zasadzny's really held up this side of the park very well, as it's not the greatest goal kick from Dewsbury. And all right to Reimer. Thumped clear towards the goal scorer Shigog. Switched ball out to Hernick. Heavy touch from the winger, and Anderson will let that one roll out for a goal kick. Promising situation was building there for Launceston.
They've got a lot better as the half has worn on, haven't they? Really, from about the half-hour mark, they've been quite dangerous. They've had their moments. Ulverstone have been more decisive, and certainly the first 15 minutes, they were all over them. But City are starting to cause a few problems, and they've got a great chance here. If Hernick could have stayed onside, but again, just keeps straying offside. There's been a few promising moments, just ill-discipline costing City at the moment. Of course, they have got themselves into a little bit of trouble trying to pass out from the back today, Ulverstone.
Yeah, especially with the disadvantage of the wind in this first half. It's been holding up and been quite difficult to play out from the back. And if someone like Fagan or Bygrave just steps in and intercepts, they can be in trouble. Because they've got a reprieve this time. And the free kick.
Has Georgia Foot's moved to striker?
Yeah, I was just thinking who on earth is that taking the free kick from back there. It was Blackwood Beattie in the end, but it seems like Smith has tucked into centre back, and Foot's just inserting herself further up in the lineup. Crunching challenge on the far side. Trying to get around both Foots there as Walsh.
We do see this a bit from Ulverstone when they feel like they need to take control of the engine room a bit. Georgia Foot will step up into there, and Wells will slide back into centre half. It's a very fluid system they play, and now Foot is going to track back into defence.
It's a good two-footed challenge on Kiara Walsh then.
Some of your best work there, Paul.
Blackwood Beattie will look to take the throw in. And still for the moment is Melanie Smith holding at centre back. Blackwood Beattie looking for Gorry. Looks to be playing more towards the right wing, trying to leave Lucy Reimer's pretty much got a permanent 1v1 with Zasadzny on this side. On the near side, I should say, as Blackwood Beattie gets good purchase on that one, but well cleared in the end. Nearly comes back in the direction of Weeder, who's almost playing as an auxiliary sort of false 9 role at the moment, moving forward from centre mid. As we're in the 45th minute, it should be probably the standard 1 minute of added time here in the first half.
What a great study on that out of the World Cup. It was out of one coach complaining about where did he pull 3 minutes of added time, and it broke down how much added time should actually go into first halves, and I think generally it was about 7 or 8 minutes per game that was being lost. And so the tone of the arc was very much managers should not complain about it, because you never ever actually play 45 minutes.
Well, that's what made me laugh about AFC's initiative to stop time wasting and have fine 60, where it's 60 minutes of the ball on the park. I'm like, well, what about the other 30? I mean, I know it takes in time for goal kicks and collections and things, but there really should be quite a lot more stoppage time added. And look, I'm not getting into the debate about the countdown clock, though.
No, I won't be having that. No need to tinker with the fabric of the game, but I'd just like to see a few more minutes added on. A bit of Fergie time to be standard time is more what I'm angling for. Anyway, we're out of time as it is for the first 45 here at Buckby Land Rover Park. Ulverstone jumping out to a 2-goal lead, but Lillian Shigog has pulled that one back to 2-1 at the break and given her side some hope heading into the second half. City were jumped early on. Jasmine Gorry working this one to the back post and doing ever so well to work that one home. There was Lucy Reimer. It was a tough one. It really bounced up on it, and she did well to steer it home. And then this one stinging the fingertips there. Oh, Dewsbury needed to have that one. I think the City keeper couldn't keep it out, and that was her second. And Ulverstone in complete control at that point, but City have just given themselves a glimmer.
Yeah, they certainly have. That first half hour was pretty much all Launceston City, and then with about 5 minutes to go, Lillian Shigog sneaking in at the back post behind Wells, and did just enough to get it past Emily Nellis, and a bigger celebration there from Lillian Shigog. It's very composed, knowing that her team's 2-0 down. And with that, we'll be back with you in about 10 or 12 minutes for the second half. It's Ulverstone 2, Launceston City FC 1.
Crossover between these two games. I wonder if there's a strategic blue break in. Yeah, probably cool. Assuming it's a club route.
Yes, yes it is.
Yes.
Right hand side. Trying to get in behind Stevenson. She's got her covered for pace. Don't you worry about that. Stevenson does well to recover. And Gorry had a chance to get a cross in, but only picks out slides to try and block that one. Couldn't do so. Beth Bygrave gets on the end of it, chips into the path of Fagan. Suspicions of handball there. Probably close to the body, but just going to be careful. Jasmine Gorry's searing in behind again. Slides this one through. A chance for Dewsbury to come out. Makes a clutch save. Great keeping there. Lucia Dewsbury tonight.
Well cut out in the end from Hernick of the Brook variety, and it's surely a foul on the captain, Georgia Foot there.
After a play, and this one's going to fall the way of Gorry, who's going to pounce in the box. It's Jasmine Gorry. She turns and back post, big chance, and need home in the end from close range. It's Lucy Reimer who bundles it home, and Ulverstone, the two generals of their respective sides. It's a wonderful ball for Hernick, and Hernick's inches away with the instant response. Lashes the volley just wide of it. Just this particular passage of play, neither team keeping a hold of it, and that's surely offside against Beth Bygrave. Don't need a replay for that one.
I really don't.
For the most part, Georgia Foot gets in a bit of trouble here, but is able to steer it away only as far as Hernick tries to catch Anderson out from range. Not going to do so.
On this side of the field, switched to Cox Haynes, who's surely fouled in the back there. Christy Cox Haynes. Pretty clear push in the back.
It's off for Jasmine Gorry. Dewsbury's off a line here. She comes back on though, and well defended. They just box out Gorry. I think got caught in two minds, sensing the keeper. Away by Lillian Shigog. Georgia Foot thinks about the blast from range. It's just over, but not by much. Pretty impressive up in the wind. There's the prime example of it. Just beyond halfway. Fagan turning. Sliding in was Nellis. Oh, decisively won.
Throw in from Launceston to no avail, and trying to find Gorry, but the wind just holding it up, not clearing the head of a Launceston City player. And Gorry wins a free kick there. I'm not entirely sure what that one was for. I thought the defender for Launceston had that one perfectly covered by Wells. Out to Lucy Romer, who finally manages to turn the defender and launches a shot that was curling, but not curling.
That's why they, I think, want this perfect season so much. That's a great ball from Bygrave for Fagan. Couldn't quite control it. And just a couple of times, Beth Bygrave's received the ball. Wells under a bit of pressure there, and Bygrave wins it back to Fagan, who slides it through for an offside. Hernick, who just needs to have a look across the line there.
Trying to jink inside. Has a shot on goal. Nearly loops the keeper, nearly saved. Oh no, it's in. Not quite
Lucy
getting enough. Reimer, who switched sides on me there. Dewsbury just got two hands to it.
She works it in. Cox Haynes in some space, volleys it up in the air, might get a second chance. Stevenson doing just enough in defence, and then
forward, finds Cox Haynes. Covering across, has a shot, but fresh airs it in the end, falls again to Jasmine Gorry, but a toe in the end. Goes for the outside of the left foot there. Falls right to Shigog and eventually makes up for it.
Yeah, the first time just trying to get a little bit cute with it, and then the second time it's up the other end, 2-0. And yeah, looking a real threat. City need a goal to get themselves back into it. Can they find something here? It's Keelan Fagan knocking after the ball. That's a lovely ball up there to Wells, who is rather cynically brought down by Beth Bygrave. And that'll be a free kick. And
Yeah, if
actually, an excellent game that day too. That's a dangerous looking cross, and it falls for Tiela Weeder, and that's blocked off. I think it was Zadzny who steps in and blocks the shot. The sister Georgia foot, who's been absolutely everywhere, slides in, and I reckon that was the last touch off a City player, but
George Foot just didn't quite believe that decision.
oh, she's given a free kick, actually.
Yeah, free kick it is.
Okay. I still can't believe that decision, but
And a slice of cheddar as well for Georgia Foot, probably for the reaction to the decision more than the challenge itself.
because Ulverstone are in control at the moment. Here's Walsh. Swings it to the back post. That's a dangerous looking ball. Lillian Shegog's there. It's gone out of play, I think. Yes, the flag was raised. It'll be a goal kick.
Dispossessed by Reimer. Lovely bit of skill there from Lucy Reimer, and has pushed off the ball unceremoniously from Kiara Walsh.
It's the only way to stop her at the moment, and she'd like to in this half. It's the best work in the final third. Normally, that's a lovely ball from Wells onto the head of Gorry. Gorry was offside, though.
Good play all round there from Foot. Looks towards the back post, running in. Here's Lillian Shigog, puts her foot through it, and it's a goal for Launceston City. Lillian Shigog lurking at the back post.
Oh, very composed.
Reimer, who's on the hat-trick, and on the left peg is Lucy Reimer. Good defence in the end from Zadznik.
Been impressed with them, but City are starting to cause a few problems, and they've got a great chance here. Fernick could have stayed onside, but again, just keeps straying offside.
like a casual.
And welcome back to Buckby Land Rover Park. Second half action about to kick off. Ulverstone leading 2-1 in their quest for perfection. But a goal just before the break from Launceston City has breathed life back into this contest and given the hosts some hope as we prepare for this second stanza. And it looks like Georgia Foot is going to continue to operate further up the field as we start the kick-off here, with Wells dropping back in. Either that or she's just deep in conversation with the sister, but they hover over the ball here, ready to get proceedings restarted. And a full start here from Beth Bygrave, just a little too eager there. And Holly Saville also encroached on that occasion. She closes down, but play allowed to continue, and why not? It's not going to impact things much anyway, as Tielawida spreads it out wide to the star of the first half in Lucy Reimer, has both goals for her team. Stevenson with a heavy touch almost lets in Gorry, but recovers it and works it further afield to Lillian Shegog. Goes looking for Keelan Fagan. Fagan turns and lofts it, but straight to Georgia Foot, who just skips around Bygrave there and then works it to Lucy Foot. Back to Tielawida. Weida to Gorry. Wants it under a spell, then looks up and decides to have a run and gets round one. Couldn't get round Hernick though. Strong in defence there, and City recover the ball through Saville. Ships it long, and Emily Nellis will play it back to the keeper there, and Anderson.
And Kiara Walsh did quite well there. Knew that had help inside, so just lured Gorry into there, as we see a slip there from Wells and nearly let in Beth Bygrave in the end, who stormed forward to a very attacking position. And falls only as far as Anderson, who is going to get a lot more purchase on her goal kicks and kick-outs today, and finds Gorry, but Stevenson did just enough to track back from the speedster. Forward again, Wells chasing that one down admirably, but I think the wind is going to beat her on that occasion.
Some around the grounds updates. So I wasn't expecting game of the year to be Clarence Hobart Zebras, but that's now 4-3 to the Hobart Zebras. And Linda Grove University leading Kingborough 2-0 and keeping themselves alive for another week at least. They've got to win out, but giving themselves a chance at University, showing some fight there late in the season, which is good to see.
Yeah, do you know offhand who they've got next week, Kingborough?
I think they've...
Could be Ulverstone.
Kingborough have got Ulverstone, but they're not. Clarence would be the only team that University can catch at this point. As live action, this one's crossed in. Clever little foot there from Foot. A little back heel. Gorry works it back to Georgia Foot. Georgia Foot had a look to fake the pass and turned and went, but ran straight into Beth Bygrave, who's now galloping forwards for City. Her progress impeded by opposite number there in Tielawida, who works it across to Lucy Foot. Lucy Foot ships it down there and blocked off by Reimer, who can't get there. I think they've got, they might have South Hobart, possibly even twice. I know they've got another catch-up game to play, but they're going to keep themselves alive and kicking for the time being, are the Bees. Of course, a couple more Super League games tomorrow. South Hobart taking on Taroona, and Clarence taking on the Hobart Zebras. In the NPL, we've got Olympia South Hobart, and then following this one, Devonport Lonnie City, and Rangers over at the NTCA hosting Kingborough. In round 20 of NPL and Super League action, coming through was Georgia Foot. Away by Blackwood Beatty to Zazadzny, Lucy Foot. And there's some space now in behind where Zazadzny's just moved from. They work it to Jasmine Gorry. Gorry can't find Cox Haynes. And well done by Kiara Walsh, who's hoping it has enough steam to cross the line, and it does.
Did well there, especially with the body positioning. Kiara Walsh, you can see there she's just on the wrong side, but just does enough to lean Cox Haynes off the ball. And Ulverstone really pressing high here. Got 5 or 6 of their players. And a free kick has been given there. And I've absolutely no idea, and I don't think... What on earth is that for?
For falling over, I think. The replay seems to suggest.
I share Lucy Foot's just incredulous. She's still just shrugging her shoulders off the bowler's foot. I have no idea what that is for. Smith, who seems to have moved back to centre back permanently. Anderson getting good purchase on that one. Cox Haynes will go up against Walsh, and the two Lonnie City players get in a bit of a tangle. Foot down the line to Gorry as she stayed onside. The flag stays down on this occasion. Gorry looks up, goes near post. At a difficult height for Steventon, but she does well to get it away. Gorry. Walsh has some space and it just about stays in, but it rolls out of play. So we have a look at this free kick decision here.
To be fair, there's an initial bump in the back. She takes a step, then falls. But pretty soft, that one. There's just confirmation University do play South Hobart twice. Clarence take on Taruna next week after Zebras tomorrow. So if University to win their remaining 3 games, then Clarence would only get 1 point or less from those 2 games, which seems possible, if not likely. I think then it would be Clarence taking on Olympia in that playoff game. So Uni will need to beat South Hobart twice. Just a picture at the bottom end of the league, and that's really been the interest at this point, down the bottom end, and whether Ulverstone can go 21 from 21.
Sorry, I'm just having a good giggle here. Some hilarious things going on off the ball here. It's Emily Hernix got one fair in the backside before and has been down for about 30 seconds, and then Bygrave and Nellis. Bygrave wanted to give Nellis a friendly hand up, and Emily Nellis just gave her the death stare of all death stares, just was not having a bar of it. Brilliant play from the centre back. I'm sure very pleasant after the game, but while you're on that white line, over the white line I should say, too many pleasantries exchanged as we go in search of a spare ball.
Can't remember who coined it. He was almost certainly an English manager, but he said a friendly centre back is a centre back I do not want on my team.
Yep, I completely agree with that.
That's not what you want from the position. You don't want your good people there. Off the field they can be lovely, but on the field you want a nasty streak in them. You want a tough streak.
Oh, well, I want as many Nemanja Vidic as I can find.
Yeah, that's what you want. Someone uncompromising. And Emily Nellis is, she's a wall at the back as this one's worked inside. Georgia Foot trying to win it back in a dangerous area. A bit of an up and under. Both teams want a free kick, none forthcoming, and in the end Dewsbury will be able to collect that one. As she'll smash this one and tumbles down there onto the head of Georgia Foot. Now skipping into some space was Lucy Reimer. Steventon across to take it off her. Clearance only finds Georgia Foot though, who works it back into the middle, or not dealt with by Brooke Hernick, and Jasmine Gorry was nearly the beneficiary. Couldn't quite get in there ahead of the keeper. A dangerous moment there.
Split second in it there, Gorry. Foot with the shoulder, but called for handball in the end. Not having some decisions go away at the moment is Lucy Foot. There's Kiara Walsh will take this free kick again. Seems to take all the free kicks when it's in the defensive area for Launceston City, and that's a nice looking ball, but only to the head of Blackwood Beattie, who finds Foot, constantly got a head up looking for a willing runner. Wanted Reimer, but just underhit that one a little. Did the assistant coach. And Dewsbury gets that one very close to the referee in the middle of the park. Smith again striding forward from centre back. It seems to be something the Ulverstone defenders like to do. Goes to Gorry. She's got 2 options in the box, but well covered from Bygrave. Only finds Foot. Finds Sister. Play on is the call. And launched forward in the end. And I think that was Saville. Ulverstone just trying to keep possession a little more here in the second half. Not looking to play the killer ball first, and surely a foul in the back on Jasmine Gorry.
So Lucy Foot standing over this one. And spreads it wide, quickly taken. They've caught him napping here at the back. It's a chance for the hat-trick. The try finds the side netting only. Not too far away there from conjuring up the hat-trick goal. It was Lucy Reimer. Was in acres of space out there, quickly taking the free kick. And Zazatsny, who has been excellent today, just switched off for a moment, and it was nearly made to pay for it.
Yeah, as we commented in the first half, outside of the positioning on the first goal, Zazatsny's had a really good game so far today. But nearly caught out again with the Launceston City defence as we have a brief hold in play before Dewsbury will take this goal kick. As the wind picks up again here at Buckby Land Rover Park. Only goes to the feet of an Ulverstone player. Reimer keeps it in. Looks to go down the line, but the covering defence of Beth Bygrave does very well in coming across from that defensive midfield position.
Told some very important news from Wentworth Park for you, Paul.
Yep.
Jakob Sklenaarge with a contender for miss of the season.
Ooh, that's the content I secretly like.
Not so secretly, Paul. It's abundantly clear, so I thought I'd put that on the table, put it on your radar.
Okay, Sklenaarge noted. It'll be in second half sometime, I assume. Hopefully there's a full game recording of that one going on.
There is indeed. I think it's we got Ash trying his magical new equipment, got the basic stream in action there, just experimenting with a few things at the end of the year here.
Very nice, very nice. Didn't quite have the need to have every game streamed at the same time for next week. It doesn't look like we'll be needing that, but good to see some of the new tech from our wonderful man Ash by on stream. With Lusty behind the camera as well. They're a team.
Good advances in the tech being made. We'll take full advantage here at Slice of Cheese as Georgia Foot with a really poor clearance went straight to Hernick, and in the end it'll be dealt with by Blackwood Beatty. Melanie Smith to Lucy Foot. Lucy Foot controlled it, turns and goes. That's wonderful stuff there. And Jasmine Gorry's got some room to run into here. Hernick does well, stride for stride, and then a wonderful challenge too. That's great defending, Brooke Hernick.
Wonderful from Brooke Hernick. Kept stride for stride with Gorry. Probably only had a metre or two head start, and then coming across, got the ball. Probably should be a corner in the end, I thought.
Yeah.
I'd actually rather the corner be compliments to the challenge even more.
It was a cracking piece of defending that. As Lucy Foot wins it back in a dangerous area. Lucy Foot now squares it back for Tiala Weeder. Weeder shifts it onto the right, back to Foot, first time release. The elevated doors slam shut there, and they manage to work it away only as far as Georgia Foot tries to take it wide around Bygrave. Can she get the better of Bygrave? No, she can't. Well recovered there by the league's reigning best and fairest, Georgia Foot. And again, her battle with Bygrave in the middle today has been physical.
Speaking of player we alluded before of the best player in the Women's Super League, you've probably seen a tad more than I have this season. Andrew, any guesses, any predictions? I mean, Ulverstone, they've got that issue where everyone's sort of taking votes off each other. I mean, you'd think Gorry with the amount of goals, but then Foot with driving through the middle. It's almost like you need sort of whoever's been... there's not really been a humongous outstanding player for any of the second or third. I mean, Bygrave, but she missed a fair bit of the season.
There's a bit of a discussion going on here. Mal Gorry, the coach of Ulverstone, receiving a bit of a talking to here at the moment. Just being put in his place and told to pipe down, I think. Perhaps with a bit too much to say. No, I think an Ulverstone player, I think when you win 20, possibly 21 games, there's 6 votes per game to be dished out, 126 for the season. You're going to get a large portion of them headed your way. And really, I think they've got several outstanding candidates. I think Nellis at the back's had a great year too, but defenders don't win these type of awards.
Unfortunately.
As she's now forced to do some defending, and she's been beaten here by Keelan Fagan, who drives one, and it's Keelan Fagan who's knotted it up for Launceston City, and it's 2-2 here, and the perfect season under threat now from their old rivals.
From really out of nothing, Launceston City. Haven't had a huge amount of ball in their attacking half, and then from one end to the other, there was that stoppage of play where Gorry got some instructions and maybe everyone just fell asleep a tad. That one's just gone underneath the goalkeeper. Keelan Fagan, good power on that shot, going to the near post. And look, Ulverstone, who were cruising in the first half hour, the last half hour, they've possibly switched off a tad, and it's 2-0 to Launceston City.
Yeah, I think it's a stronger City team than we've seen in the back half of the year too. This is the side that was strive for striving at the top of the table in the first half of the year, so no surprise they find themselves in a game, and City now just sensing a chance. A bit of confidence starting to flow. Kiara Walsh, she's got Hernick in some space here. It's Emily Hernick is going to turn into Smith and gets the better of her too, and then Smith loses her footing. Working back in support was Cox Haynes, and Hernick turns, waits for support, beats her marker, all ends up and fizzes one across the face. And suddenly it's Launceston City with their tails up and looking like they are well situated to play spoiler here this afternoon.
Oh, look, if you were to see who would win from here, the momentum is certainly with Launceston City, and I think Ulverstone are sensing that here and making a relatively early sub by their standards. It's Shelby Aitken coming on the field, and Christy Cox-Haynes coming off. It looks like it's going to be a like-for-like sub. Aitken strolling out more towards the left back position at the moment. We'll see how that comes out in the wash. And as Wells picks it up, actually right wing, I should say. Well intercepted from City, and it's Fagan down the line wanting to get a hold of it. Nellis comes across. Thought she was going to find the safety of the touch. Actually found a teammate in Wells, and now Smith can stride forward from centre back under not a lot of pressure. Goes forward to foot. Launches it forward. Gorry speeding through the middle, doing just enough. In the centre of the park is Hernick. Tripped over the ball there, Brooke Hernick, and thought the moment was over, but did well enough in the end to turn and play it forward. All seems to have come to a complete halt here. Dewsbury. Yeah, seemed to stop there for about 10 seconds for no real reason as Dewsbury knocks that one down the line. It falls to Fagan, who's keep control of the ball, and now on the left-hand side it's Hernick. Will she get there in front of the keeper? She does! And Brooke Hernick puts Launceston City 3-2 in front.
Emily Hernick, I reckon that one. The sister, but she's driven it home. And Launceston City leading 3-2. Ulverstone now with some real work to do if they're going to keep this perfect season going. It's looking like City are going to play spoilers. And really, since they went 2-0 up, Ulverstone have been outplayed. And City putting it on the scoreboard. Some lovely football being produced, and Emily Hernick with a bullet of a finish.
Similar to the last goal, Emily Hernick. Apologies for that, Emily. I'm getting you and your sister mixed up there. It's, just from one end to the other. Much like last time, another false start here from Jasmine Gorry, who probably doesn't need a head start.
That was quite funny. Lucy put stock was just saying, hey, they've encroached, not realising that Jasmine Gorry had bounded 5 yards forward too. They now look for an instant response, and it's a sliding ball down the line. Walsh working back in defence, and does well. Kiara Walsh just uses her body really intelligently the way she defends situations, Walsh. Yeah,
I've seen that especially in this game, but Launceston City coming from the clouds in the last half hour, they've been really impressive, and as you say, this is the lineup they had at the start of the season and the one that produces their best performances. Hernick and Fagan really turning it on in their second half, and it's Emily Hernick on the ball trying to turn the defender again, but not coming across was Fagan, so Smith intercepts. Knocks it back to Blackwood Beattie. She goes down the line looking for Jasmine Gorry. Offside flag stays down. Gorry goes towards the near post, and Steventon gets crunched after clearing it and should surely get a free kick for her troubles there. Leaving standing strong was Steventon.
And Taylor Weeder just crunching her in the back as she tried to deal with this one. And the defence too has tightened up for City. They were a bit of a leaky boat early on. There were holes everywhere, gaps you could drive a truck through, but they've really adjusted to that, and Ulverstone finding it a lot tougher to break through. So Walsh finds Hernick, who tried a volley on the turn. That was ambitious. It might work out okay if they can get someone wide, but no one's out there. And that one will be eventually let out for a throw in for Wells to take. The substitute Shelby Aitken just letting it run. Throw in down the line, nodded away by Zazadzny. Saville shut down. As I'm told it's now 5-3 at Wentworth Park. So the Zebras look like they are going to win that one in the NPL. I think it's still 2-0 Linda Grove must be very close to full time in both of those games.
Yeah, both 2 o'clock kickoffs, so it would be pretty close for both of them. As the header is won by Aitken. It sort of just fell on a dime, and now it's Smith in a foot race with Fagan, and Fagan gets there first. It was a foul on the Launceston City attacker, and now a chance to put a 4th in here is City. Bygrave, very good set piece player, and a slice of cheddar there for Melanie Smith as well, being dished out.
Confirmation of 2-0 full-time at Linda Grove. University win, and the gap is 5 points to Clarence with 2 games each to play.
Yeah, still need a bit of luck on their side, Uni, but not completely out of it.
I think Clarence will start as underdogs in both their final 2 games, but can Uni beat South Hobart twice? Who've been playing some pretty good football of late, will be the question. Bygrave swings it in. Tough one for Anderson to deal with. She palms it behind for a corner. And Bygrave with another chance to send something in.
Safety first there from Anderson, but just on the South Hobart, look, I'd find it. It's not impossible. South Hobart played some really nice stuff last week. And saw 90% of that game at Darcy Street. It's just about stopping their wingers, so we'll see if Uni does anything to combat that in that game. But back to this one. It's Bygrave over the corner kick. Goes near post. Flicked inside. And a foul called. Will this allow time for Ulverstone to make another sub? Looks like it's going to be taken too quickly for the player to get on. It's now Lucy Foote. Good run from Reimer, streaming down the right wing. They couldn't quite get there. It's now Blackwood Beattie. Looking for Lucy Foote, who's in a pocket of space. Wants to give it to Gorry, and she does. Gorry tries the return ball. Now falls to Lucy Reimer, who hits it first time, and it trickles harmlessly wide. I think that sub is now going to be made.
Yeah, but he seems to come on. Brooke Hernick with another great piece of defending there. She's just about saved 2 goals this half, and going to be denied the opportunity to get a hat-trick here at Lucy Reimer. She's replaced for the day, so 2 goals and a very good shift from her, but not overly thrilled at the subbing, I don't think, and probably fair enough when you're on a brace.
Yeah, that's a curious decision for mine, but we'll see how that plays out. With 25 minutes to go, roughly, Ulverstone really need to find some momentum, turn this game around.
Probably had been a bit quieter this half, to be fair, and maybe some fresh legs in the final third's what they need, because at the moment they have to change things up, as you've just said, Paul. They're walking towards a defeat right now, unless Lucy Foote can change things, and she might just do that. It's Lucy Foote charging in the box. She fires and picks out the far corner and squares it up at 3-3. And after 66 minutes, we're locked up at 3 apiece again. A wonderful solo goal from Lucy Foote.
No, it's class from Lucy Foote. Just got on the edge of the area, didn't hit it first time. Thought about it, could have hit it with the left peg there, but just wanted to get a bit closer and narrowed the angle down. Sorry, hit the angle and keeper not quite getting down, but that is right in the corner from Lucy Foote. There's a perfect spot, and it's 3-3. Launceston City have come back once. We'll see if they can do it again, as Blackwood Beattie just happened to fall over under that one, and it's now Emily Hernick looking for the immediate reply, but goes to the near post and harmlessly out. Anderson urging her team on to take this goal kick quickly.
Yeah, well, 3-3. Fantastic game this has been. Wonderful entertainment here at Buckby Park this afternoon. A beautiful day for it too. And City now looking to reclaim the lead again. It's Keelan Fagan launching the chip with a dip onto the roof of the nets. I'll tell you what, with the wind blowing quite strongly, it was every chance of dipping under the bar there.
Sometimes when you see those looping balls in over the box, you think, it's well harmlessly wide. But with the wind the way it is today, I was holding my breath up here in the commentary box. I thought that was very close to being in. As Anderson gives away goal kick duties.
They're going to go long, you'd suggest then, with Georgia Foote on it. Just punches this one. Didn't get much purchase on it. Bygrave works it there to Fagan. And now coming through, Saville tried to slide it back to Fagan. Foote mistimes the clearance. And look at the spin on that one. Like the sandwich had been pulled out with the backspin.
Yeah, it's a very, very strong leggy on a good wicket, that one. Plenty of turn. As City now try to rebuild. Saville on the far side. Not able to work it forward, and Smith will look to clear, which she does. Aitken will chase that one down for Ulverstone. Coming across is Zadzny. Good chase in the end from Aitken. Just puts Zadzny under enough pressure. She had to concede the throw. Throw in. They'll look to switch the play here, Ulverstone, but Bygrave puts a stop to that. Now Nellis in a foot race with Fagan. Gets across. Does the defender. And good defensive play there from Emily Nellis. Safety first, and now the throw in. Smith. Always win the height advantage over Fagan in that situation, but Fagan now gets it to the near post. Emily Hernick with a good opportunity, just came off almost the heel and skewed the other direction. Sims beaten out. Kiara Walsh scythed down from behind. Bright boots on the substitute, Ebony Sims.
6-3 now, Wentworth Park, between the Hobart Zebras and Clarence. So, boy, have they turned that one around from 2-0 down to 6-3 up. The Zebras have responded, but plenty of goals in top division action so far today. Let's hope that trend continues.
2-0 being the smallest scoreline so far, which isn't a bad effort.
Kiara Walsh just stands this one up to the back post. Didn't really have anyone there, though, making the run. It was a pretty good ball if someone had taken up that spot, but only Ulverstone numbers back there.
Pretty dangerous area as well. It was in that corridor of uncertainty for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a decision whether to go for those ones or not. Let the defence deal with it. And plenty of purple shirts around the ball. As we've said a number of occasions, best away strip in the comp.
Absolutely.
No, in any comp in this state. Just love the kit they're rocking here, Ulverstone, as they work this one back to Wells. Wells charged down by Zadzny.
Certainly a bit better than the barbecue shape away strip of Lonnie City men's. I don't know what the Lonnie City women's away strip is like.
Yeah,
hope it's not in a similar vein.
Barbecue shape just makes me hungry.
Yeah.
I don't mind the concept of the Italian flag. It's just get a bit peckish watching it play. We've got 20 minutes left in this one, and both teams will be hungry for a goal, that's for sure, to go on and win this one. Ulverstone with their streak at stake, and Launceston City wanting to spoil that and try and lock away second place on the table. So plenty still to play for here in these last 20 minutes. Jasmine Gorry running out of room there on the far touchline. Ground bathed in sunshine. It's a lovely day for football.
Probably the nicest day you've had up here this commentary season, Colin.
Yeah, it's been a couple of cold trips up here this year. I think there have been too many days where layers upon layers haven't been required.
Yet.
I've ventured up here. I mean, we'll give the 4:30 kick-off a chance first before we rush to judgment too much. But no, it's been a good day for football. As Fagan tries to take this one around Wells, who gets a foot in, but will roll all the way for a corner. Oh, goal kick, so very nicely done by Wells.
Must have got the crucial touch off the shin pad of the on-running attacker, and Georgia Foot will try to heave this one long. Another low driving ball right to the feet of Beth Bygrave, who turns around Weeder very well. There's near Falcon there, Georgia Foot, the cause of that one. Now Bygrave for Lonnie City. Looks up and has two to try and find. Didn't quite hit that one as she wanted to. Turning, jinking inside. Now it's Georgia Foot clearing that one. Zadzny wins the headed contest over Shelby Aitken and gets up again. Good hard challenge between Smith and Zadzny. And in the end, Lonnie City defender comes off second best with that one, much to the chagrin of the Lonnie City bench.
Did she just elbow her in the face and...
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's have I wouldn't mind another replay of that one.
No, I think that probably is the right decision on replay.
Okay.
It looked like she got her in the face there to me. But
Gorry.
Jasmine Gorry a chance here as she turns and tries to take it through the legs of the imperious Brooke Hernick. Certainly the City bench weren't impressed. They were both competing for the ball, but I did think on the replay, admittedly it's a small replay screen we're looking at. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we might need full vision first. Let's have a look here. So they both jump for it, and I think it's a raised shoulder that crunches her in the face there.
Kind of kept the
it's
arm
more
up a little
bracing
more
for contact, though,
yeah,
I think. So.
it's not.
Yeah. No, I can see why the refs interpret it that way, though. It's definitely the shoulder meeting the face. So, yeah, certainly the City bench weren't overly thrilled with the decision.
They were about 50 metres away from it as well, so a bit of partisanship going on there.
Exactly, but on replay, I don't too much of a problem with that one, as this one's chipped in there in the Holly Saville direction. And a free kick given the way of the City midfielder.
Urging their side on as the Ulverstone bench as Launceston City take the free kick. Steventon launching along, and Nellis, a powerful header, clears. Zadzny against Aitken again, and the height advantage wins on this occasion. Go out for an Ulverstone throw. We've got 15 minutes to try and preserve their undefeated record this season, going for 20.
Well, they still can go the undefeated season, of course, even with a draw. That's what Zebras achieved last year, 20 wins in 1 draw. But the perfect season, as we know it thereafter. And it's slipping away from them. They got 15 minutes to find a goal. But City looking every chance of scoring one themselves. So, real exciting finish coming up to this one. Jasmine Gorry gets in ahead of Steventon. Now turns onto the right, looks for Lucy Foot. She's also well taken in the end by Dewsbury. Strong, that one. Had to be too. Sims was lurking. Saville turns and charges off towards our commentary spot here. Good challenge from Sims. It'll be a throw in Launceston City's way for Saville. Down the line for Hernick. Hernick turning inside. Plenty of Ulverstone bodies there. Now just lofted forward for Jasmine Gorry to chase. Not a bad policy. She's got some speed and somehow gets there ahead of Walsh. Searing stuff there from Gorry. How's the cross? Into the mixer, and then turns and blocked that shot and then cleared away. Saville, and they recover it, but Gorry was 15 metres behind Walsh there and beat it to the ball.
Gorry was just standing in the middle of the park, 15 metres away, and thought, will I bother to chase it? Yes, I will. And got there convincingly. Aitken had a good opportunity to slot that one home as well, but it was well blocked by the Lonnie City defence. But the substitute getting good areas there in the box. The long throw to the feet of Foot, and foul throw given, I think, against Georgia.
So that's the tail end of it. She just came in from the side. If Walsh, I don't know if she had a look up initially, she would have, where on earth has she come from? She was dead set standing in the middle of the park before she started that run.
Well, I was looking to see if Gorry was going to make the run, and she was just standing there like, do I really have to chase this down? And then she's got there convincingly.
It's like, is it far enough away that I can go, no, I don't need to make this run? And the coaches are going to eviscerate me. I'm clearly not going to get to the ball. That's what most players would think, is that's an awkward challenge, and the Ulverstone players come off second best here too.
Knee in the back, just accidental after the clearance.
And then She-Gog there. Leaning in and just awkwardly landed the way the knee collapse was worrying, but she's back to her feet, which is a good sign. And Ulverstone on the attack through Lucy Foot here. Lucy Foot trying to make something happen, but it's going to be a goal kick again.
They're trying to turn the screw here, Ulverstone, but Launceston City's defence is holding on well here in this second half. Ulverstone just trying to overrun them in the last 20 minutes. Dewsbury knocks that one forward, goes to Bygrave, who tries to find Fagan, but Nellis comes across. Couldn't find Foot up ahead. Wells will clean up at the defence and goes back to the keeper, Anderson. We'll look up and try to get some purchase on this one. Only as far as the Lonnie City midfield. Saville intercepted at first. Sims tries to get around Walsh, but again, that's handball, surely, against Bygrave. Quick ball.
That's a slice of cheese.
And it is.
No, it's not a slice. How? Well, it should be a slice of cheese.
According to the rule book, that's a slice of cheese. But anyway, Ulverstone now. Standing her ground is Brooke Hernick, who's been really, really good in the centre of the park. And onside here is Emily Hernick, wins the header, trying to turn around Smith, who's got to be careful on a slice of cheese. Leaves the leg in, and Emily Hernick still with the ball. Can't get around Wells on this occasion.
Forcing a wider.
Yeah, doing well as Wells. And then I think should win a free kick out of that one. Well done, Elizabeth Wells.
Very Wells. Just defended that expertly.
Yeah, absolute textbook stuff from the left back.
So it's just about the final 10 minutes here. Can either team conjure a winner? Or will it be, I guess for both teams, an unsatisfying draw?
Yeah, Lonnie City will be probably the slightly more likely to be happy with the result if it maintains a draw, but Ulverstone really want this perfect season. And now Blackwood Beattie finds Gorry, heavy touch, but can retrieve it, gets clipped afterwards. Advantage is played, and Sims just keeps it in, but sends herself on a very wide berth to track it down, and there goes the slope of Buckby Land Rover Park. Throw in deep in Lonnie City's defence. Ulverstone really trying to press them into the corner. And Smith, who's got forward, Gorry outside of the box. Aitken slips at a crucial moment. Dewsbury then manages to come out and collect, but just at the crucial moment, Aitken loses her footing.
The most inopportune moments there for the slip, as this one is Hernick, takes it down. Well done, Emily Nellis, and she's charging forward, sensing the moment. Requires decisive action. The centre half charging forward, willing her side. She's got a few to pick out in the box here. Sends it wide to the top of the box. Charging through was Lucy Foote. Couldn't quite bring it through the pack of defence. And then they work it to Jasmine Gorry. It's Gorry swinging in the cross. Weeder blocked off by Stevenson. Gorry again. Just mistimes that one. It flies over the top.
Good position there was Weeder, but probably did need to take a touch. It was pretty hard to pluck that one out of the air. And Ulverstone really trying to push on here. Fell nicely to Weeder, but with that much sauce on it, it's pretty hard to bring it to a dead stop. As Dewsbury will take the goal kick. Finds Zadzny, who uses her body well. Eventually hoiked clear, but Smith reads the play well. Had some willing runners on this side, but set Sims quite the task. And Hernick goes down the line. Blackwood Beattie with time to size up an option for Ulverstone. It's a big gap in the centre of the park if she wants to go there, but elects to find Gorry. And again, slightly heavy touch, and Stevenson concedes the corner, rolling out. Bit of spin on that clearance. And Ulverstone trying to maintain the perfect season. Every time I hear perfect season, I think of 07 Patriots. That's why I don't like saying that phrase. I know you love that
Great season.
ruining of that as the corner comes in from Gorry. Good touch. Oh, the crossbar. Georgia Foote coming in from the back post. Inches away from putting Ulverstone 4-3 in front.
Oh, I'll tell you what, if they don't win it now, that one is going to be an excruciating moment. That was within inches of being the go-ahead goal. They're knocking on the door here, Ulverstone. Another chance, perhaps, charging through was Smith. And the City defence is holding on. It's Ulverstone with the wind in their sails as we reach the end part of the game here. And just moving forwards, a little bit of Smith getting involved. Plenty of bodies being thrown forward. Ulverstone want the win here. Away by Walsh. Foote, the Georgia variety, but it's City who jump on it, only as far as Blackwood Beattie. Across to Sims. Sims for Gorry. Gorry stretches to control, looks up and is going to take her on here. Running past Hernick, just clipped off the ball, I thought, Gorry.
Yeah,
somehow gets away with it. Georgia Foote swings one into an area, but no one had made a run there. I reckon they were a little bit stiff not to get the free there.
I'd certainly agree with that. I thought Gorry, the defender, was coming in from the right-hand side, clipped her on the ankles. It's Hernick. That's what she's been doing all game, and hoiks that one clear. Emily Hernick with Blackwood Beattie for company. Lays it back to Walsh, and leaving her leg in there was Sims. No foul given, and Walsh wants a bit of retribution. To be fair, I don't blame her. Thought the leg was left in there from Sims.
Yeah, just the little revenge foul perhaps as we have a look at the corner. Jasmine Gorry swinging in, Georgia Foot leading it with a volley. What a goal it would have been. What a goal that would have been. Anyway, she's got a free kick here. A chance to ask some more questions. Time running out for Ulvie. 3-3 the score. A perfect record on the line. City holding on for the time being. Eventually, Foot to take. Plenty of bodies forward for the visitors. Teasing ball, Gorry can't control. Weeder, sorry, to the back post. And behind for a goal kick.
We've got to keep going, Ulverstone, but it's really running out of time and opportunities here, as we've got word that it's finished 6-3 at NPL down at Wentworth Park. Zebras eventually getting the win over Clarence, 2-0 down at the first 10 minutes by all accounts. A very fast goal as well in the first half from Clarence. In the first 30 seconds as Gorry just gets a little bit too much on that miscued goal kick from Dewsbury, and it falls into her grateful arms, and she'll launch this one clear. Bobbling ball, which Nellis reads quite well, tries to find Foot. Battling with Saville. Wells. Good ball over to Lucy Foot. Calls for offside. I think Gorry was on and Sims was off, and Gorry tries to turn through the Launceston City defence. Hasn't got a lot of options and then slips as she goes to cross it. It's now Bygrave with the through ball. Smith and Fagan battling. Smith clears it only as far as Hernick. Eventually cleared by Nellis. Some last-ditch defending going on from both sides in this game, and Steventon's had enough and just launches that one high. Wells with the body position. Ellis missing the header. Ulverstone just getting involved in a bit of a scrap here, which I think will suit Launceston City. Yeah,
it's a bit of ping-pong here at the moment, as that's handball, surely. Spotted by the referee. It's a very outstretched arm. Ball just clipping, and I think certainly some space at the back there for a moment. Ulverstone have been throwing the bodies forward, but there's some pretty tired bodies out there, so once it gets up at one end of the pitch, it's becoming a real battle of territory now. And City might have a decent little spell here. There's Bygrave with a chance. We've got 3 minutes plus change left in regulation. 3-3 the score. Beth Bygrave standing over the dead ball, trying to ruin the unbeaten season of Ulverstone, who want a goal to maintain their perfect one. This one's in the air to Walsh. Knocks it back into the mixer. Lucy Foot leaves it for Georgia Foot. Georgia Foot over the top for Jasmine Gorry running onto it. It's Jasmine Gorry. Here's the chance for Ulverstone. Gorry blazes over the top. And one wonders if that was the moment. Paul Hunts.
Oh, look, I don't want to hedge my bets, but I think that was the moment. That's what they've been waiting for all half with this wind advantage. 87th minute. The ball bouncing over there to Hernick. Gorry running into it. Just leaning back as she hit it. The goal was gaping. There's a big gap there in the bottom left corner. Unfortunately, just got underneath it. And I think that is one of the biggest opportunities of the game for Gorry.
Just didn't quite sit for her, did it? It was still bouncing when she took it. And credit to Hernick, who put the pressure on her, and she felt, I need to get this shot off or I'm not going to get a shot off. Couldn't wait till it settled, and that's probably what led to it. Still needs to be hitting the target, but Hernick has been pretty good today. He's made some pretty important blocks at the back, and the pressure she's able to put on a faster opponent there to stick with her pretty well. Good defending again, but Ulverstone still in search of the match-winning goal. They are flooding forwards here, as that one is steered away by Hernick. Sims unable to keep it in. 2 minutes left in regulation. Ulverstone flinging bodies forward with almost reckless abandon here. Bygrave away from Georgia Foot. Walsh up against Gorry. A bit of a shirt grab there. Now down the line. Smith will just punch this one along towards Gorry. Looks to with body position on Hernick, sweeping across with Steventon. Hernick protesting the point is now Keelan Fagan, a threat at the other end. It's Anderson, indecisive, the keeper here, and now the referee's got a decision to make. And play on was the call. You're going to need to unpack the replay here. I think they both hacked at the ball, missed it, and got each other.
That's my initial thought as well. I thought Anderson was quite hesitant, and then I think they've both ended up missing it and gone shoulder to shoulder. We'll have a look on the replay. And it's Fagan charge again. You just saw that hesitation again from Anderson. And yeah, she pretty much whiffs at it and collects Fagan. I don't think Fagan got too much. Yeah. I think Anderson's quite lucky.
I think Anderson's extremely lucky looking at that. I mean, not lucky in the fact that she's now got up limping, but I reckon she's gotten away with one there. So I think Fagan might have actually got to the ball. And Anderson just hesitated for a moment there in the build-up. If she had have gone at it, made up the mind early, would have been fine. But the referees decided they both got each other, and they've dodged a bullet there. Will they be able to parlay that into a late winner? Along goes Anderson, down towards Georgia Foot. Georgia Foot turning onto the right, centres it for Gorry, but tracking back was Holly Saville, and she's done a lot of that sort of work today.
Certainly has Saville. We're into the 90th minute. Free kick on the far side. Quarter kick on the far side, I should say. Last chance saloon areas for Ulverstone. Corner swung into the box, but out for a goal kick. Dewsbury made sure that one went over the bar.
Just bending back on the breeze, tantalisingly. Stoppage time left for Ulverstone now. They've got the full-on forward press in operation here, so Dewsbury would be best served just to chip it over the top of them. Oh, puts it right into the teeth of this press. Jasmine Gorry, Bygrave, that's the right idea. Try and get it out of there. The wind holds it up. It bounces off of Shegog. Wells for company. And Shegog takes it out of play. And Ulverstone throw. They need to turn and go here. And go quickly. Going the wrong way. Back to Nellis. Nellis looks it forward. That's handball. And that could just about be that. In the 92nd minute now.
Yeah, I don't think there's much time left here for Ulverstone. There's been a couple of subs, but not too many in this match. And we'll see what that means. They may still match Zebra's 20-1 season last year, but it's looking unlikely to go the whole season winning every single game as Bygrave. One last chance maybe for the City. Going again. Saville. Up in the air. One cleared in the end from Smith. Throw in being taken here. Saville. Into the box. Slipping over again at a crucial moment. Bygrave striding forward. What can she do? Can't find Fagan. In the end, it's meekly rolled through to Anderson.
And they have to go. Anderson turns and launches it down the guts. It takes a bounce. Brooke Hernick doesn't decisively clear. But we'll get a second chance and then smashes it straight into Tiela Weeder. Here's Ebony Sims. Sims with a through ball. Again, the City defence should deal with it. Tiela Weeder. Weeder, this is it. It's Georgia Foot. It's now or never for Ulverstone. Sims in some space. Sims with room to shoot. She drives. Sims! They've done it! Right at the death in the 93rd minute. This miraculous Ulverstone team, the dream of the perfect season, had just about evaporated. And Ebony Sims picks out the bottom corner to absolute perfection.
He could not hit it sweeter than that from Sims. Just sat up for it, 25 yards out. Took touch, had time. And just put it right where the keeper couldn't get it. And Ebony Sims saving the perfect season with a rocket.
Do you ever get the feeling some things are just meant to be, Paul? You couldn't have scripted it. What a game. What a game this has been. And surely Ulverstone have won it right at the death. City might have a little chance to respond, but Ulverstone forcing them back here. Beth Bygrave smashes it. That one's blocked off. And it's in the wrong part of the field as far as they're concerned. And frustratingly for Bygrave, it won't even roll over the line so she can get a throw-in taken.
Oh, I'm in disbelief at that. They've been gradually knocking at the door, but not really that kind of throwing it all up there. And just out of nearly nothing in the 94th minute, Sims has possibly preserved Ulverstone's perfect season. As Gorrie will chase this one down in front of Steventon. It'll go out for an Ulverstone throw, and they can just keep it in the corner here. Hopefully, Lucy Foot. No, it's been overturned, that decision. So Steventon to launch it down the line. Saville.
And she's all over. Ulverstone keep the dream alive. They left it to the last minute. And a stunner from Sims wins a stunning game of football. Launceston City will be in disbelief. They've not got something from it. But Ulverstone showing the will, the determination, the ability to fight to the very last minute that has defined them, that's made them such a successful team this year. They get the results, and they're now just one away from 21 wins from 21 games.
Yeah, absolutely pulled the rabbit out of the hat at the end there, and they are loving the celebrations on the field. As we have a look at the goals again, 2-0 up after about 10 minutes, Ulverstone, and you thought it was going to be all one-way traffic. And Launceston City, especially through the likes of Fagan and Hernick, really turned it on from about the 30th minute mark onwards. It was Shigog that gave them a hope at 2-1. But then right at the death, Ulverstone coming back from 3-2 down to pull this one out with a 94th minute winner. And Launceston City, here's how they hit the front. It was Dylan Fagan and a powerful finish to the near post. And somehow Ulverstone have maintained their perfect season thanks to Sims.
So that's a full time here in the first of two games. It's all smiles from Ulverstone. They've pulled that out of the fire at the end. It was a cracking game of football, a wonderful exhibition of the women's game in Tasmania. We hope you enjoyed that one. Do stick around with us. We've got Devonport now looking to wrap up the NPL Tasmania title as they take on Launceston City. A win, and it is all but theirs. So do stick around. We'll be back shortly with that one.